struck me listening to Koke that what he was talking about was the selves that get expressed. The father self, the student self, the 7-year-old self. They're little snapshots and little pictures of this self. But when we ask the question, what am I? It's really pointing to what's underneath the selves. What is it that the narrative is attaching itself to? So we say, don't know. What we don't know, really, is what it is that animates, what it is that the self and the narrative forms around. Does that make sense? The big mistake we make as humans is not to remember that the narrative isn't really who we are. We get so lost in perpetuating a narrative. I am something. I'm now, what did you say? I am 52. I just said what I am, 52. When I heard you say that, I would think that grammatically what you're really saying is, I has 52 years. And none of us remember those 52 years. First of all, the beginning 9-10 months, maybe a few less, but we're in pre-conscious time. And such a pivotal time in the formation of these selves, and we don't remember, we don't know. So we have this phrase, I am naturally fill in the blank, but we don't know what we naturally are because we don't know what we don't remember. I remember, what are we in? Almost 2019, so we're going back 17 years to the George Bush administration with Donald Rumsfeld. And I used to pinch myself for having to quote Donald Rumsfeld. But he said just an incredibly perceptive, I don't even know how much he realized what he said, but he said, we don't know what we don't know. And then, and it's so obviously true, but we so obviously forget that. And we assume we have the information, but we don't know what we don't know. We don't know what's outside of our awareness. And if we are, by definition, more than our narrative, then all the stuff we don't know is, at minimum, at least a part of us. But we don't know. We don't know what we're missing. And we never will. We can never be certain because we don't know what we don't know. There's a lot of different levels to that truth. But I think one practical, important truth is, or one practical and important point that it leads to, is to remember to stay open. And to remember, if we remember that we don't know what we don't know, then our curiosity is aroused. Our attention is aroused. And maybe even some humbleness is aroused. And those three things are quite important to living a Zen life. Being curious, admitting that I don't know, so I need to pay attention. And the humbleness to recognize that I am not what I think I am. And almost they're basic building blocks to, I say, a Zen life, but I would also say of a fulfilling life. A life which is not stuck in a stale, calcified narrative, that just gets perpetuated over and over again.